The following podcast is intended to be entertainment and a tad educational. Do not take anything we say to heart. We are not comedians, but plan to laugh with us or at us. If you disagree with anything we have to say, make sure to bring it up in the comments so we can gain views with your tears, and enjoy the show.
Welcome, everybody. This is episode 1 of our Adrenaline Junkies podcast. With me, I've got my hosts, Kenley Watson, Jordan Kirkram, Jarrett Ritchie, myself, Cody Smith. First, we're going to start off just a little intro, what we've done in motorsports and where we want to see this go. So I'll start it off. I've been in about every angle of motorsports, between derby and racing, motocross. I've done just a little bit of everything. Driving, promoted a couple derbies. I've been in a pit crew for late models, street stocks, few sprint car races. Worked at the media center at Talladega Speedway. Just done a little bit of everything. Dabbled in some ARCA stuff, and yeah, looking forward to the show. And start with Jarrett.
Pretty much. I'm straight up demolition derby. I've been around a little bit of dirt track racing. My father raced, you name it. He was there, did it. It was bound. I was probably going to do something along these lines. So I've been derbying the past 4 or 5 years. Not really had, nothing to speak of on the success side, but enjoy it and had fun with it. And I've looking forward to this, talking with my homies. Jordan, I'll let you have at her.
I've been derbying now. This will make year 15. Promoted a little bit. Done some inspections. Pretty much been around anything that has an engine. That's about it. But yeah, Cody came up with this idea, asked us all to come and be a part of it, and here we are. So we'll see how this goes for us.
I've been around it a lot. I started out in the stands mostly, watching every county show, and then see, my dad got into it. Some people we know got into it, so we started going down to the pits, and eventually I got into it. This year's been my first year. I ran 2 derbies this year. Super fun. I plan to do many more. Bad habit to have, but
Yeah.
That's why we're junkies.
That's right.
For the adrenaline. Yeah. For this show, we're hoping to do some coverage of some events. Here in a little bit, we're going to talk about some events that are coming up locally and some local competitors are competing in. We're hoping to eventually build it into more of a video production, other than just this. Go to the shows, do some on-spot interviews with drivers, promoters, inspectors, try and get some live feedback from them before the runs, after the runs. We've got some ideas on doing some different episodes on following different drivers through the build, through the inspection process, through the drive, trying to do just build each driver, participant, or whatever, whoever wants to be on the show, follow their whole process from beginning to finish, do a short little series on it. So we're hoping to get into that. That's our vision. We want to provide as much entertainment to you guys as we can, along with some unsolicited educational stuff that may or may not be useful. You may do something completely different than us, but like our disclaimer says, if you disagree, we disagree, but whatever. Yeah. Our first topic we're going to cover today is going to be the Snowball Derby. If it'll load. Nope, that's the wrong one. Bear with us. This is our first show, if you can't notice. One of the kids that got me, guys, he's not a kid no more, that got me into motorsports as deep as I am is Cole Williams. He's out of Memphis, Indiana right now. He's going to be racing down at Pensacola at the Snowflake, which is the pro late model side of the Snowball Derby. I've been down there with him several times, just doing local races. I got to go to the Flake with him one time. It is one of the most cool events I have ever been part of, with probably the best team that there is. So we want to wish him luck. A little bit about that event. It's a pro late model, super late model race. This year they've got Crown Vics with them. I'm not sure if there's any other series that's going to be supporting them, but those are the three that are pretty local to us. Crown Vics has got 41 cars entered from 18 states. No, 6 states. That one's 6 states. So that's pretty cool. That division was started here locally.
Yeah, that's the Crown Vics. I think it's
Have taken off.
Yeah, which hurts our sport.
Yeah.
But it is still one of the coolest things ever. Watching them at Salem when there's almost 70 cars out there, it is unbelievable. If you looking for an affordable way to get into a racing, which it's becoming less and less affordable because it's got the word motorsport in it, so it's always going to become unaffordable.
It's definitely a cheap way to kind of jump into the sport.
Yeah, and they're fun to watch. They beat and bang. It's more old school racing than some of these more expensive classes, and they're a blast. Then the Pro Late models, which is what my buddy Cole's going to be running in. They've got 51 cars from 18 different states pre-registered. That is my favorite race of the whole weekend. I am biased on that one. I've got more buddies that have raced that than the upper class, which I believe is a snooze fest. But I will be watching both of them next weekend. But whatever. But yeah, we want to wish Cole all the luck in the world. In the super division, we do have 2 Indiana drivers racing, Ed and Billy Van Meter. They're up by Indianapolis. Ed has raced about every type of division. I knew him racing in the wing figure 8 cars, so we want to wish them luck as well. Jay Bird, you want to talk about Gateway?
Yeah. The Dome. It's everything it's hyped up to be, I think.
One show that I have not been to,
and
I would
yes,
love to go to.
it's on the list, and I hate that it's the same weekend as the Derby this year because I probably would have ventured my way out there. But I don't know. I think it started in like 2016 or 17, but just every year after year after year. I mean, there's just excitement all over that whole weekend. All the different classes. I mean, watching the videos, I don't think that really puts into perspective how cool it actually is.
Pulling the cars right down the street where they block off is a super cool thing to do too.
Oh yeah. It brings out good. They put different wraps and schemes on those cars. Yeah. And gosh dang, man, there's just some of that stuff that's unbelievable. It's wild to see.
Yeah. I know I've never been there. Obviously, some of our guys that we know from out there, they always go.
Yeah.
Chad, I think Cody O goes all the time. He's always like, "You all got to come out here for this."
Yeah,
just haven't had a chance to slide out there yet.
Yeah. So this is a modified and a super late model dirt race. It is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, big car indoor race of the year. I'd say Chili Bowl is probably a little bit bigger on scale, but it's more sprint car.
Yeah, I was gonna say a little bit bigger on the sprint car side, but yeah, I mean both of those are 2 high end races.
Yeah, I believe my favorite driver, Jonathan Davenport, will probably be there. But there's tons of drivers. I mean, you can see on the background of this slide that you get on one side all your modified drivers, and on the other side all your late models, and it is just packed with names.
Big and small.
Yeah.
Big names, small names, local names.
Yeah. There anybody and everybody. It's an invite only, but you submit your resume to be one of those invites, and there is going to be some bad drivers there.
Oh yeah.
It is going to be one to watch for sure. You can watch that on Flow Racing. I didn't say on the late model side that'll be available to watch online at Racing America. So be sure to tune into one of those if you're not going to be at an event by itself. One I don't have a slide for, I want to mention PRI show, Performance Racing Industry Show. It's up in Indianapolis. It is one of the coolest expos I have ever been to in my entire life. Any type of motorsport, there is something there for you to see. You have to be pre-registered. You have to be part of a racing organization. So if you can get your way in, get a pass, that is a show that you don't want to miss. But yeah, I am by far a believer that is the best networking event and getting deals on every product, just learning more at each show. That is definitely something that you want to do.
You'll
if it's
see
possible.
You'll see some pretty cool stuff up there.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
I've seen
next level stuff.
Yep.
You know?
A few years ago, we saw Scott Bloomquist walking around. I got to shake his hand. God rest his soul. But that was one of the cooler people that I've got to meet up there. Some of the big street outlaw guys are always walking around.
I think they always go.
Asian and farm trucks. I got to ride in the elevator with them and chat with them. Super cool guys. All the NASCAR guys are usually there somewhere. Since it is the weekend after Snowball, usually the winner's cars are there from the Flake and the Snowball. But yeah, super cool experience just being able to get up there and see all the stuff that's available there. That's December 12th through the 14th at the Indianapolis Convention Center. Yeah. Next we got motocross woods rider Brody Amos. He's local to Scottsburg. Kid is an absolute stud. He's, I don't know, probably 14-ish.
I think, yeah.
Young kid coming up through the ranks and absolutely dominating locally and nationally. I got my stats written down, so I don't want to screw any up. In IXCR, which is our Indiana series, he was undefeated in Open B and second overall in points in 2024. Like, that's unheard for. That's one of the best series throughout the country, let alone the best in the state. Nationally, he was second in the Youth XC1, which is the premier series for the youth division. He had 3 wins and 8 podiums and 2 parts malfunctions. So without those, that boy was going to be first in the country, like without a doubt. Kid can ride. One of the best kids I've ever talked to. Seeing him interact with people and his personality, kid's just awesome. He just got his first pro win in Extreme XC here a couple weekends ago. Seeing him on the podium for that was super cool. His dad, Mike, is always posting his updates and super proud of him. He rides for Team Husqvarna and Stacy Mundy Photography. He's got several other sponsors, but had to get Stacy in there because I stole several of her photos to be able to put this together, and she's the best photographer ever. But yeah, we're super proud of him. Can't wait to see where it takes him. We're hoping to get him on the show here eventually. I know I ain't talked to you about it, Brody, but it's in the works. Do you have something to say about it, Jay?
Leave it to Jordan. No.
Okay. But yeah, super proud of Brody. Next, our main topic is going to be Winter Slam. Team Derby down in Russellville, Kentucky at the Logan County Ag Arena. Beside me, I got one of the drivers that'll be participating in the 3-car motor swap derby. A team of Jarrett, Mason Stoll, Walker McCrary. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Not much to say on my end. Bless those guys' hearts for bringing me on with them. I'm looking forward to it. The 3 of us have we went around some bigger shows and hang out locally, and we've been talking, and rumor was this derby was going to happen. Came to fruition, and we said, let's give it a shot. So I got lucky. They asked me to join them. Why? I really don't know, but they did, and here we are. Yeah, they were scraping the bottom of the barrel on that one. But I don't know. I think we're all in good shape. Basically done, ready to start packing stuff up here later on this week and get headed down there. I think we're all just not ready to get it over with in a bad way, but we're just ready to get down there, get at it, and get going with it. I've been fortunate; those 2, they've helped me a lot, along with Jordo and Goat over there. I've depended on all those guys a lot, and I can't say enough about them for all they've done. And then of course my dad and brother, man, there can't be enough said about those 2 either. So, but like I said, Mason Stoll, he's from Brandenburg, and then Walker McCrary, he's from Wheatland, I think. He's west of us, and
he's way out there. He just always shows up.
Yeah, he's out there he's where the banjos are playing. But I don't know. I've been fortunate. Like I said, I was fortunate enough to hang around them, go to some shows with them. we've been tight the last several years, but here recently it's
Old Dan says, "Hey, Jarrett Ritchie, don't suck."
yeah, Dan, I hear you.
Did I say McLean? I meant McCreary if I did.
Nah, it's just old Dano. But like I said, those guys have went above and beyond as teammates, bouncing ideas, parts, going back and forth to each other's shops, doing what we can, getting cars done, getting them wrapped up, making sure we got all the tools and stuff necessary to take down there with us, and just you name it. Couldn't ask for a better group of guys to go down there and hopefully cash a check with. But I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Starts Friday, this coming Friday, the 6th. The team heats will be Friday, and then Constellation will be Saturday at 1:00. And then there's 3 other heats going on. They've got the MWFA National Championship. I don't really ponder into that class much. Don't know a lot about it, but they say it's a national championship, so it's going to be a big one, I assume.
Seems to be a class that's starting to take off.
Yeah.
They do not mess around.
No.
It's definitely a fun, more action-packed than a lot of the stuff that we're used to
Extremely
seeing.
cheap.
Yeah.
They
Car
got
just basically has to run, toss the. Actually, you can't even have a cage. I don't think. Basically, just they lay it out.
DOT tires, just let her rip.
They lay
Let
it
her rip. And then they've got a 3-man mini card team derby too as well, but that'll be on Saturday. And then they've got a one and done motor swap too that they're having down there. It's for pre-run class. I mean, the rules are fairly similar to what we're running, but then you get your extra patch plates and whatnot, and that whole deal. But it's one and done. There's a couple people from this area running that class. Hunter Crone, he's going with a car, and then Dusty Sizemore from down there in Corden, he's going too, that I know of. And I don't really know much anybody else going from this area, but I know they're running a one and done class. But I don't know. It's going to be a new experience. Never been there. I've been on the track with Walker once. Never been on the track with Mason, but we've been.
You've been in a car together.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. Mason and I've been in a car together for the whole whatever that was worth at Sturgis last year. But
I don't know. I was still thawing by the time you guys got in the car.
Okay, that was bad.
Slightly cold.
Yeah,
a little bit wet.
Slightly cold.
A little
man.
bit.
That was a rough one, but I don't know. It was fun. That was worth it too. Can't say it wasn't worth it. I'd do it again over if I could. But
That was her first time there, and I'm like, what a way to.
yeah,
And yes, it is that bad every time.
Not every
Basically,
time.
yeah.
We've been down there
Yeah.
a few times. It's not been that bad.
During the summer,
No.
for a team show, it's not always bad because you're starting spring. But Sturgis
Show's not
every
bad.
it's
every-
always something different. Like one year we'll have a foot of snow. The next year it'll be 13 degrees but dry.
Hey, last year or this year, they didn't open the windows in the where they were racing. And do you remember that? It got all
Smoked
smoky,
out.
steamy.
Yeah.
Everybody got a headache.
Yeah.
Oh, that's always
The
like,
ventilation.
when we first started going, they didn't have the heaters inside.
That
So-
first year that me and you went, we like to froze to death in the stands.
And at the hotel, or
The hotel was rough. Punching bag hanging from the tree outside.
it was a good time.
What
Though.
an experience that was. I'm surprised I ever even decided to go back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I've swore that place off more than I've ever sworn off any other place.
But yeah, we
Yeah.
always go back.
Yeah,
Yeah. I think there's something about that show, especially first of the
yeah.
year. Guys won a derby.
I've had
The
long enough
atmosphere
break.
down there, guys are just snooting stuff.
I've ran some indoor shows, but pulling onto that track is when you pull through that little gap where everything's blocked off, and then you pull out there and everybody's there. It's pretty wild.
Oh yeah.
I've still
It's-
got that voicemail from you when you got the win that first time down there.
At like 3:00.
3:00 in the morning, I was sleeping and I get a voicemail. Hey, brother, we got it done. It's like the bush light is flowing.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Slightly excited.
Yeah. Slightly got worked up on that one.
Yep, I got to find that. That'll be a good soundbite.
But back to Winter Slam. Is there anything anybody else wants to touch on it?
So I've got a GoPro I want to put in a car.
Not mine.
Walker, Mason, one of you volunteer because we don't need to see the spray painted X.
Here we
I
go.
need
Little fairy
action
coming out
for
there
this
for
show.
the
It didn't even. Did you hear it?
Yeah, he
Oh, I
did.
didn't hear it. I was talking.
I'll never live that one down.
No.
No.
It's a good thing I didn't get any kind of exit Paoli because I'd probably never live that one down. It's a good thing they just would have broke me off over there, but we won't bring that
It
one
is
up.
what it is. But
Yeah, I don't think we'll have the opportunity to get a Red X down there.
Skinny Piddles on the right.
I still wish I'd have took to Isaiah at that last show he was at. Whenever he was going out and painting, he needed an honorary spray
Painter.
paint fairy.
Yeah,
We had the perfect guy to do
I would
it.
have done it. Yeah, over at Salem a few weeks ago, I would have done it. If he would have said, "Hey, here's a can of spray paint," I would have done it.
I
I'd
think
probably
that
made
would have been the
someone
most
mad, but-
iconic thing in the entire world.
I'd have probably just spray painted an X on myself, even just run out there. I'd have probably done that too. But anything else on the Winter Slam?
But yeah, one of you boys need to put a GoPro in, and I'll provide the GoPro. But
Anybody but me. Anybody but me. I don't have good luck with GoPros. Never turns out good.
Walker, Mason,
There you go. But now on Winter Slam, I mean, I think that pretty well touches on it. Hopefully the ventilation's good down there too.
Yeah, I've never been to a derby down there.
I've never been there.
I know it's open on both ends,
It
but
seemed like it was good. What I saw posted this past year.
yeah.
So you're saying bring a lot of clothes?
Yeah, I'd probably bring clothes.
It'll be a little chilly.
It's probably gonna be a little chilly.
Yeah.
I started to not even get a hotel because we didn't know if they were gonna let us have the cars after the heats or whatever. You know, I was like, well, what if we work all the way through the night? You know, I was like, what's the point in going to a hotel if I'm just gonna be working all night? And I started to sleep in the truck. And I was like, I better not. It's gonna be pretty cold. I didn't. Caitlin would have done it. Bless her heart, she's a trooper. But I wouldn't. I'd hate for her to do that. So I
We
would've
need to
done
get a
that too.
camper again. We could have just taken turns.
No
and-
kidding. Yeah, that'd have been like Terre Haute. I think.
Oh, that was so fun.
Oh, that was a rough one.
That was a rough.
That was a rough one.
My head hurt for
I
days.
did not want to go hammer on that car for like 3.5 hours.
I had to call you guys like 4 times a piece, and finally, I think Cody was one to answer. He was like, "Yeah." He's like, "All right, I'll be out there."
We was too busy racing golf carts all night.
Jumping it over the dirt mound and stuff.
Pops is watching. Don't talk about that.
Yeah.
Sorry, Pops. Stories were
He's heard all
made.
about that.
Oh, I was gonna say, I'm sure he would have joined right in on that fun.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was on the front seat this time, Mom. I didn't get thrown off this time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's some events we're looking forward to. With this show, we're going to try and get into some more details about some of our past in the different types of motorsports, along with some different topics on different build styles, different classes that are ran, payouts brought up. We got several different ideas. We're going to try and have a topic each week. But yeah, we're at 28 minutes, guys.
Well,
we've done pretty good.
yeah, we've done pretty good. Usually, if we get talking, we get on a roll. We just don't stop.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think we pretty well hit all the bases on it. But I think if we kept going, we could talk forever if
Yeah.
that would be allowed. But I wouldn't do that to anybody. I don't think anybody wants to hear us talk for that long.
Yeah. In the future, we're going to, once we get this set up, we learn the ropes, we make our production side of it better. We're going to start bringing on some guests. I see some names that have popped up that have already asked to be part of it. If you guys do want to be a part of the show, either by guest or even to sponsor some equipment, we've definitely got a wish list that is 3 miles long of different equipment that we want to build and make this better with. As you can see, is that right? No, this side. My camera's backwards. We got my logo down here just because I've started this, and
That would be
that
our
can be
top sponsor so
Yeah.
far.
Yeah, that's been my top sponsor on cars. It was Little Smooth
For a
Speed
long
Shop
time.
and Coyote Customs, man.
Yep, you guys definitely represent well.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got more room for more action. We would definitely, Mom, go to bed.
Calling him out.
Yeah.
We've definitely got room for sponsorships. We can put my man Smooth. Got room for logos. We can put together different packages, different merch. I can do that kind of stuff. Whatever you are needing with your business, we can throw commercials in here pre-recorded at your shop. May take me some time to figure out how to edit all that, but we're working on it. So
A guest
Definitely
list.
a work in progress.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely a work in progress. None of us here are perfect, but we're trying. But if you want to be a guest, message the Facebook page. That's probably the easiest way. That's the way we're all going to see it. Message the Facebook page, let us know why you want to be on it, If you just want to be on it, just be behind the camera, that's cool. But we want good information.
Yeah,
We
we
want-
want to actually get something out there.
Yeah, we want to get something out there. We want to make it known that, we're talking to everybody. It doesn't matter what sport, how good, how bad you think you are. If you want to be on here, message the Facebook page and we'll try to get you on here, But bear with us. We've already got.
I think there's already 7
Yeah,
that
we've got a
have
list.
requested since we even started thinking about this.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so
we will get better we're going to do every other week shows. So our next show will be December 15th. We will get better. We will learn more about our software and how to make this better. The more followers we get on accounts, the more we'll be able to put it out. Like TikTok, you can't go live until you got 1,000 views or 1,000 followers. So that one's going to take some time to build. Instagram's a day limit, so that'll be added eventually. And we will be on some podcast streaming. That takes, I think you have to have 5 episodes pre-recorded to be able to submit into those. So within a couple months, we'll be able to submit some into those. But we do want to build this. We want to build it for you guys, with you guys. So yeah, any recommendations, any feedback you got, make sure and shoot us a message.
Yeah.
If you hated it, tell us in the comments so we
Yeah.
can copy it and make your face
Regardless.
known.
Yeah, regardless, we don't.
I ain't blocking out any names if you're a hater.
Yeah.
Regardless, just tell your friends whether
Yeah.
you thought it was
Yeah.
good or you're like, look at these clowns up here trying
Yeah.
to do something.
Because that's probably going to be what the most of. That's probably what the most of it's going to be. But we'll get better with it. Give us time.
You gotta start somewhere. So.
Yeah. I've listened to a lot of podcasts, and if you go to episode 1 to episode 101, it's night and day.
Yep.
Yeah, it only gets better. So, and that's another thing. Hopefully, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, give us some time, get a few more episodes. We'll get on those too if we can. If it's possible, we're gonna do it. I mean, that's pretty well. We've already made up our minds. We're gonna do it. So.
Yep. We're going running from this point forward. We've done a ton of work and spent a ton of money trying to get to here, and now we're here, so we're going further. So
yeah,
as much as we can build, we're going to snowball it.
Yeah, shout out to Cody too for doing this in his garage too for us.
Put together this.
My nice
small
backdrop
setting
from
at.
one of the cars that I work on currently.
Yeah.
We got rid of the green this year. It got rid of most of our bad luck. But
He texted us all. I don't even know when that was.
It's probably about 3 weeks ago, 4
Yeah.
weeks ago.
And had this idea. And literally, like that night, 2 days after that, I got a picture of this thing already put together. I'm like, well, I guess we're doing this thing.
He jumps into action on that's
And
for
then
sure.
it was every day after that. I got mics, I got headsets, I got this, I got that. I'm like, well, here we go.
Yeah,
We'll make this thing happen.
I've tried it a time or two before, and I was always like, I had my group of buddies that was going to do it, and they're like, yeah, I'm good, let's do it. And I'm pushing the snowball, and they're like standing beside it watching. Love those guys to death, but I wanted somebody that would push it with me, and this crew's done awesome at that.
and Lord knows Jordan loves the yellow snow, so he's all about snowballs.
We'll help you push the snowball, but we might end up all rolled up at the bottom.
Oh,
Yeah, I was gonna
guarantee
say,
it.
we're probably going
We're gonna crash and burn at some point.
At some point, yeah.
Kinley will be there to fix us. She's getting ready to be a doctor or something down there.
I wish.
Me too. We'd get a big equipment upgrade quick.
We
Yeah.
not only brought her on to be a host and to give her input, but she also helps keep us in line.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it makes that side of the camera look better.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's pretty rough looking down there. It's pretty rough looking down here, but it's pretty rough down there.
We
too.
don't have a good side.
Yeah, I was
At
gonna
least
say,
that
yeah.
side's.
Yeah.
But yeah, what
So,
else we got down
yeah.
there? So next show, December 15th, we'll be right back here with some recaps of how this goon did down at Winter Slam. Hopefully we got some good feed. Me and Kinley's both taking our cameras. We're going to have some GoPro footage. Hopefully.
Have lots of pictures.
Yeah,
Yeah.
stay tuned for some like filler videos too. Don't let
Yeah.
y'all forget about us.
Yeah,
So.
She's got the camera all the time.
Yes.
Always snapping pictures.
Stay up on our Facebook, especially from here on out when we start going to events. Stay up on her personal Facebook. Stay up on the Adrenaline Junkies because she's
Actually, probably
gonna
not a bad idea to put albums on the
Yeah.
our Facebook. I just thought of that.
She goes to any show that we're all at, and she's always right beside the track. So
she's captured some good ones, but she's also got some bad ones on me too. So
Yeah, there's a few of them that I was scrolling back and I'm like, nope, can't use that one. Can't use that one.
yeah.
So we did all of our intro videos this week, and I made one special, and I was not allowed to post
And
it.
you're not doing it today either.
It was so good.
It was good,
I
but
feel like if we posted that,
Comment down below if you want to see it. We're a democracy here, so.
our viewers would shoot through the roof if we posted
that I'm sure of. Do I want to look like even more of a goon? Probably not. No, but
We can take the one.
Yeah,
we can take
we'll-
one picture out.
we'll-
Like that one was you as a minor, and it was not appropriate. But
Was that when I was at the? Are you talking?
I was talking about the one where he was getting ready to show at the fair, and he was like,
over at Bedford.
"Yeah,
That was back in the heyday. Back in the heyday.
So-
that was our
Cody-
first obsession."
when Cody came up with this idea for us to send in any pictures, videos to use, whatever, he sent it in our group text. Everybody starts putting kind of their own deal in. Well, if you know anything about any of us, we all have a lot on him. So it
Here we
could have
go.
went.
The young
It could
pup
have
of the
went.
group.
It could have went very, very bad for him. But we
It
decided to be
started
nice.
to, but I had to shut it down. But
Yeah,
We
we
decided
just
to be
turned 18,
nice.
like, what, 2 days ago or
Yeah.
something like
21.
that?
But
21.
I feel like that's gonna be the common deal here. Is Jarrett's gonna be on the brute end of all the
Well, you started
Fun
that
stuff.
on yourself at like
two.
age 6.
Yeah.
Like, I'll give you a
Also-
few years. You was sweet for a while.
I was sweet for a minute,
See,
but
but if you go through most of our people that are on here right now that are commenting, they can all say, "See,
Yeah,
that's
Brad.
yeah,
Red
they,
X.
they somewhat know me on a personal level and or know the stories
Oh,
or
yeah.
seen the pictures and
Oh, yeah.
or so it's not
Everybody
like it's
does.
gonna be any worse than it already was. But
it's not just you. We got plenty on Cody. You all got plenty on me.
you buddy, buckle up,
It's
buckle
gonna be
up.
a wild ride.
Yeah, that one could get hairy real quick. But
We're not trying to get canceled.
no, well, this is first episode. We gotta be good for a
Yeah,
little
we
bit
gotta
anyways.
stay on track
Yeah,
for a little
yeah.
bit. I don't know about track, but at least between the lines.
Yeah.
We like to teeter totter on that line.
There's a fine line, and a lot of times guys will stay on the good side of it, or they'll just jump right over that thing. And we're trying to stay right there on that line of
There'll be a few of them that
yeah.
there is no line.
No,
It's just gonna be obliterated from the start.
It's just gonna junked it in the heat on that type of deal, you know.
Oh yeah.
We might find certain topics that line just goes out the window.
And we've also all at least niched one topic from the other that we're like, that's not good.
Yeah, that's a whole we had
We're just not going to go there.
yeah
Like
we,
it
but
opened
if
that
y'all-
can of worms.
yeah there was a
There's
couple
been
that
a
were
lot of discussion in our group text between all of us right here, and it's been that's not a bad idea. No,
that's a terrible
we're,
idea.
We're not going to go there.
Yeah.
That's going to start below the line, and that's going to be an issue.
Yeah.
Walker wants some pictures of Jordan.
Well, I'll see what I can do when we end this podcast here.
But yeah,
Uh,
so our next show, we're going to do a recap. We're going to do some more in depth on what we've individually done through the sport. We say individually, every one of us has crossed each other's paths from the beginning. We've even before we started driving, every one of us was there for the other before any of us stepped in a car. So,
Unfortunately, I've been blessed to know you guys since
birth.
birth. Yeah.
Actually, like all of us.
I'll
That
never
is
forget
funny
the
though.
first time that I actually met you.
The
Like,
Scottsburg.
legit, yeah.
Bless your heart, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was threatened to go get your mother that time.
Yeah. That was back when
That was foul mouth Jay Bird.
Young whippersnapper, but boy, the mouth on you. I said, "Who is this kid?" All Cody could say was, "That's Todd's kid."
That's the little brother that I did not share any blood with.
Yeah.
I said, "I've heard of the kid, but Jesus."
The bad part is like my little brother was never really that way. He never went through like
Your
Oh,
brother
your brother
talk.
didn't speak
rural
till he
bad
was
things,
8.
I
Yeah.
couldn't get your brother to talk to me until we ran together at Salem.
Yeah.
He never spoke.
Yeah, Brad, we're going to try and cover as much as we can locally, if not more local stuff. Than thank you, Jeremy. That was the desk, our top was all provided by Jeremy Shell. Back to Brad. We're going to try and promote as more locally than we do at the national level. We're going to try.
Don't you dare, Shane.
But yeah, we want this to help promote all motorsports within our region. Eventually, we would love to see it be more of a national type thing. But this region, motorsports, I don't care if it's racing, derby, and drag racing, motocross, we want to try and help put it all out there. If there's a monster truck show.
Well, unless it's mowers, we don't really. We're not really going to cross. That's one of those fine lines.
I'm literally building mower right now.
Well, I've got 2 out back. I was thinking about them. So that's cool. No, I'm just kidding.
We do that at the house. We don't take that to public.
Yeah. That's one of those lines that we're just going to not cross. We're not going to cross that one, I don't think.
I done did.
Yeah, it's all right.
As far as car builds, yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. I feel like for me personally, I feel like I put in the same amount of time, effort, and everything for a small town show as I do for any show outside of town. I feel like I've always been taught that the small things are what will take you out. So if you don't take the time to do everything that might take you out, then
And I think we've all three been Kinley, have all been in enough garage time that we can have a car done a month ahead of time, and it's not done until the green flag drops at the track.
Yeah, like I've had a car done for probably right at a month now, probably a little bit more than that actually, and I'm constantly just going out there.
Yeah, that checklist just grows and.
Well, to go back on what Jordan said, like you can't ut corners. You know, it's the little stuff that matters.
Yeah,
and to go to that, you know, the little shows and then the big shows. I don't think anybody in the United States of America has never ran a derby car before, put one together, went to the biggest national level event, and won.
Yep.
You start somewhere.
The main thing about it is, I feel like it used to be thought that your top drivers were at your big time shows. There is very, very good drivers at your hometown shows that never travel outside of just those shows that are close. Mm-hmm. So it's not like you can kind of not put as much time or effort into it just because it's a small town show.
Yeah. No,
I go to win, and I want to have the best car I can have, whether I'm running for $200 or $2,000, whatever. So
because you're going to lose money in
you're losing money. So.
But there is very, very good drivers at a small town setting that people have not ever heard of on as far as going out of town.
Yeah,
but they just.
And I feel like especially in this area.
Yeah.
I mean that can be argued on many different levels, but this area, man, there are some guys in this area that I would probably put up against just about anybody.
Oh yeah. Between just our two counties, let alone our surrounding counties, our county fair derbies are some of the best in the state, no matter how bad it is. Promotion side of it's different.
Yeah.
In a perfect world, when I was promoting my two shows, just kidding, I was not a good promoter. But driver wise, our shows are some of the best shows in the state, no matter what. There can be 10 cars there,
and you're going to get a hell of a show
most of the time,
or 40 cars.
Yes.
And between local Southern Indiana, Kentucky shows, there are going to be
seen some absolute,
dogfights,
brawl, guys breaking stuff just to prove a point. Brawls, man. And you
may have been part of some of those too.
Yeah, I've broke my fair share of stuff.
You kind of get that small town rival deal, and that's what.
Yeah, I was going to mention that. It's fun.
Feels like
exactly, Brad.
And you got to that this group's going to be there. So if you don't have the best car that you can bring, you're not going to do any good.
And or if you don't have enough help,
Right.
I mean,
They're going to.
And it really hurts when you're friends with both sides and you're stuck in the middle and you just don't even walk up and watch. You just sit on the trailer because you know somebody's coming back mad.
It's also pretty cool though when like out of town guys just randomly show up and everybody's like, "Who's that? Who's that?"
And then I've seen instances where that's the case, and then those out of town guys probably should have just stayed out of town because even though there's two rivaling groups, they go ahead and they
Yeah, but there are some cases where they come in and clean house. You know.
Yeah.
I've seen it all.
Yeah, we've seen it this year.
Yeah,
We've seen it this year.
Yeah,
Several different times actually. Guys coming in town, just sneaking in, doing what they got to do, and then cashing the check.
Being like, remember my name, I'll be back.
Yeah. I'll be back. I'd like to take some.
And not to mention that, like, you know, not builds a hatred, but builds like I'm beating him next time.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
All it does is
It builds a rivalry.
Yeah.
Like, puts that little chipper in your shoulder and you just keep
I
on
wish
going.
cars still cost $60, Brad.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I think the cheapest car I've ever had was like $400, and I would probably do anything just to buy another $400 car again. But
Been to the ghetto to get some cheap cars, but I'd probably rather work a couple of more hours of overtime to go back down there.
I've been to some sketchy situations.
That last square body Caprice I bought, we went down shady side of Louisville. Met an old guy named Pumpkin. He was the neighbor of the guy I was buying it from. He was sitting in a black Escalade backed into the garage bay.
Pumpkin must have had some spice.
Yeah. He came over and he was like, "What you boys doing?" And we bought the card and left. And he promised me, he said, "I'm going to come watch that derby." Gave me his phone number. And he never came and watched me derby.
What a shame. Shame
I
on
thought
Pumpkin.
it was going to be pretty
Can we all agree, anybody that's tuned in right now, how many old people have we
I was
robbed
about to say that. I was just about to say, how many old people have we absolutely robbed? Like, yeah, we're gonna rebuild this car, and
I'm gonna restore it. I got three more at home. I just need it for parts. I'm gonna put a new motor in it. It'll be the same. It'll look even better than it does now.
And none of those are lies.
No,
we do restore it. We do make it look better than it does now.
Yeah.
Just with our own touch.
Oh yeah, with uprights and
That's for sure, Brad. Yeah.
Yep.
As long as you can walk off the track, shake hands, have fun the next night.
Have a cold beer after it's over.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's been some nights you don't want to do that. But
Yeah.
Some nights it takes a day, a week, but
a month.
Everybody ends up. You all come back for the same reason.
Sometimes the stuff is let go, but then there's other times where I've seen.
Yeah, you gotta have that too, though.
it's like you just let go. You know, you'll get him at the next one, which leads me to my next thing. Cooper Wise, if you're watching this, I'm coming for your ass next time we're on the track.
Called out.
Yeah.
Called out.
Yeah. But
I wish I'd have queued up a video. Speaking of getting somebody on the track,
we don't.
If you didn't see in Kenley's intro video, what was the song I used?
I don't remember now.
I don't remember either, but it went with the whole video. If you watch that segment of it, she full tracks Jordan.
I didn't mean to. Okay, I turned
One
the wheel.
rail.
One rail.
Hold on. She says she doesn't mean to, but we all know in the back of her mind, she was like, he should have done it. He should. Yep, that's it.
In the group chat, it literally says, "He pissed me off one too many times."
Yep.
He's running them gums. And
That's right.
And I mean, I'm probably guilty of it.
No. You?
Maybe. All I know.
Can you guys hear those sound effects? Because they are great through there.
I hope you okay.
Yeah. We've got more, but they're not really that good. But
Yeah,
that one's good.
that whole hit, I turned around, backed into that guy, and I turned around and looked, and here she comes. I was like, she's about to lay the wall down. Right as she got to me, turned to the left, and I was like,
I turned it a little too hard, but then I look up
She
at
wasn't
the
ready.
flagman, and I see everybody throw their head back laughing because they know I just hit Jordan.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm embarrassed. I'm like, oh no, I
I
didn't mean
looked
to do
down
that.
through the hole in the firewall, and everything's still straight, everything's good. And John Donahue was standing on the wall over there, dying laughing. I just kind of threw my hands up, like, "What do you do? Here we go."
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah.
I love you.
He'll probably get you back on the next one.
Oh,
Don't worry. He will probably get you
Bring
back
it.
on the next one.
So my first derby,
Here we go.
I was terrified, absolutely terrified. Me and Jordan had built this car. This needs to be a whole
Yeah, this needs
thing in video
that,
itself.
That 2 or 3 days needs its own.
Yeah.
segment.
So anyway, pulling out on the track, Jordan's right beside me. I'm sitting there shaking. My helmet visor's like falling up and down, fogging up. Like
I told him right before we pulled on the track, I said, look, you're nervous. Once you get hit one time, anybody that's ran their first show knows you're a nervous wreck. Once you get hit, it all just goes away. And I said, when we back up, sit still, I'm going to hit you. And he just looked at me like I was crazy. He's like, what are you talking about? I said, I'm going to hit you. You'll be fine after that. They waved the green flag. He backs up. I smoke him right in the cage. One of the other guys that we're supposed to run with, he spins around and full tracks him. And I'm just like,
he hit me and I was like, that was cool. So I just matted it. And I saw a black car across from me. Moose, I'm sorry. I don't even remember your real name. I remember you as Moose, and I was not supposed to hit you. I've met him in the center, and he was like, and I just didn't know what to do, so I just spun it around and went the other way. I was like, if that guy's there, I'm going this way.
He went full Ricky Bobby.
Remind me to never run with Cody.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah,
I like the pedal.
I can't say anything. The one time I was on track with him, I ended up hitting Cody by accident too. So, so did Dad. I can't remember. We were in a battle, and Cody was right behind us, and I was not even looking backwards. I was watching Dad. He was not even looking backwards. Forward and backward for all they were worth, not even paying attention. And I blasted Cody several times.
That derby, I'm sitting there protecting Dawson from getting in the dogfight. We're just over here rubbing paint, and I get smoked in the door, and I look over, 32. And I was like, that was weird. Why is he hitting me? And I'm watching him, and it was like 3 times back to back to back, and his head never moved. He'd bounce and just launch.
He's good at that. That's good.
I just sit there and smile. And I was like, I'll take these door hits all day long as it gets him going again.
Yeah, no kidding.
But yeah, I got out of that one quick.
Yeah, that one was.
I recall one other.
That was also the first derby. You can't bring that up.
Hey,
No,
speaking of the first derby. Speaking of the first derby. Speaking of the first derby, remember what you told me the other day? That me and Cody have something against you. Remember what you got? What you placed in your first derby? What'd you place?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
7th or 8th. I don't really remember. It was a wild show. Cody
Anyways,
placed
moral of
above
that.
me and
Yeah.
she did too.
Yeah, because he was sitting on the wall.
I wonder why I was sitting on said wall.
I did not put him there. I just left him there because
Ooh.
I was terrified of the black flag too. But that's another
A
story.
great friend that just drives right by you and waves as he goes by.
I was spinning that son of a gun like I could never see trying to clip you. Where was you going?
I would recall a driver's door hit at Scottsburg by somebody else at the end of a show after you had broke your stick.
Oh, I know. I even know what he's talking
you
about.
Tossed said stick at this person.
Me?
Shout out to Pops.
Oh yeah, when he had the Sedagon. When he had the Sedagon.
He drove in my ass.
Like, I mean, I won't take that away from him, but
Either way, but he hit you after you were out. You were slightly upset for a second.
That was the happiest I've ever been in my life. But I did ruin a set of headers that night. Sorry, Pops.
No, that was the previous night.
Oh yeah. The same show.
Yeah, you climbed him like a wall. And then that header was...
Me and Shiloh had just full tracked. Like, we met in the middle, stood him up, and all I could do was shift. The ending of that show was the dumbest thing I've ever done in my entire life, and Shiloh followed suit, and he's one of them that's in line to come on the show. So we'll have that reenactment. There we go. At that point, but we met in the center. I had Dad's slider in, so I had the advantage. All I could do was shift. My gas pedal was bent over, pinned full throttle. My steering knuckle was dug in the side of the frame. All I could do was just inch forward and back. And here comes Pops and just parked it in. Pops is Jordan's dad.
Lloyd Kirkham.
Yep.
Goat.
The goat.
The goat.
That's what we need one of these to be. The goat.
Yeah.
As you mentioned, people being on the show, you just brought up Shiloh. Jess Ritchie just joined. Jessica, if you're still watching this, we have you on the list, believe it or not. So
Yes, we do.
get ready to talk about that cow car.
Come on, too.
We've got a lot of older folks.
You calling your mom old?
Ouch.
She was dressed up as
grounded.
Mrs. Claus today, so
yeah, she was. So
she had the gray hair going.
You know what I'm saying? We got, I'd like to talk to your dad. I'd like to talk to your dad. I'd like to talk to everybody's dads here. I think all of our dads here have a story that could go on forever.
Yeah. So we got a segment that we're gonna call the next generation, which me and Jordan, a couple other guys that we Jarrett, whenever he got old enough, we brought him in on it. It was the next generation of Derby, and all of our dads ran. It was our little fun name that all of our dads had their own clique names. Your dad never really did, but
just
old school.
Goat.
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 But we want to bring in the next generation, the kids coming up. We've got several drivers that we've all talked about that we want to get in. So we will be making our way to that, replacing ourselves as the next generation since we're getting old.
Yeah, we're officially our bones.
You're still one of those kids.
I was about to say, Jarrett, me and you ain't in that.
Here
We ain't in
longer.
that.
I don't know. I feel old.
Yeah, you've just been doing it a whole lot longer than some of these kids.
But no, we do. Kids, we got, talk to some kids, some older generation drivers, and then, current drivers, same age as us. Females, can't leave them out. There's a handful of them around this area. We've got, I know you were talking about Mom. We talked to her. There's some pretty good female drivers in this area.
Yeah.
There's
Past, present.
a lot of, we discussed this in the group text. There's a lot of your younger drivers, kids that have lived and breathed it, that are starting to get out there, and it's impressive.
They were a lot like us. They grew up in it, like we did. And then
you got girlfriend, spouses like Erica Hazelwood. Curtis has absolutely got her loving this sport more than about any guy I've ever seen.
Shout out to Sam. Yeah.
She gets out there.
Sam?
Samantha Gilstrap.
Yeah.
Oh,
thank you.
I was like, Sam, who's Sam? I know Samantha. But yeah, she's another one. Like, eats, breathes it harder than any.
Yeah. Shout out to my lady too.
Oh yeah,
Caitlin.
Has she driven one yet?
No, but she can turn a wrench and she can weld.
Say she's
car.
always there. I'm surprised she hasn't been in one yet.
She's been on me. She wanted to ride passenger. She was gonna ride the Corden down there.
Bad idea, Caitlin.
I was like, I don't know. I was like, this could get hairy real quick.
It did.
So
it did.
Against fair judgment, I didn't let her. But no, shout out to her. She's a trooper. In the garage, never complains. Never hear anything from her.
Let's be honest, she's a trooper because she puts up with you.
That's the biggest part of it. There you go, for sure. So shout out to her.
Yeah, I will say Jarrett had good judgment on the Corden Derby, but we're gonna get her in one.
It's coming. I can feel it, and it's probably gonna be this coming year, whether I want to be or not.
His judgment on the Corden Derby, not letting her ride, was a little better than mine, but I don't really think I was going to tell her no. So.
I needed that though. I needed to be beat up a little bit.
I was watching from the beach, and it still hurt.
There was one point in time I backed door to door, pulled forward.
I love it, Cross.
Hey, thank you.
Trying to work up an all-female class for Madison.
Yeah, there you go.
Do we have a youth class for Madison? I don't think you've done one yet, but
honestly, my dad brought this up. He wanted me to start out with powder puff, and I was like, I ain't doing that. But he was like, Kinley, honestly,
for it, for
I
sure.
think, he said, I think I'd be more scared to run a powder puff than I would be with the big guys. Some of these girls just just go at it. They don't care. Yeah. So
imagine
I've
putting
watched
someone like Jennifer Donahue in a powder puff. Like, she went out there and absolutely annihilated the men of the men.
I was gonna say, I think I'd probably,
I was
she
put
is
on a driving clinic.
No offense, Kinley. No offense, Mama Richie.
Yeah.
Jennifer Donahue is the absolute driver.
Hey, that's probably where Jax gets it from. You know what I'm saying?
John's a driver too. I ain't taking that from him.
I was going to say, Jackson is blessed.
Yeah.
He did very
mom
good this
and
past
dad.
show.
Yeah, shout out to him on that. Everything.
Yeah, Cross, you get something going on that. I've got a kid that I've promised I'd build a car for, and I'd rather do it for one of your shows. So let a boy know. Charlie,
youth full size. You're too old, buddy. You've been running youth for like 12 years. There you go. Yeah. But I think youth full size, powder puff full size. Yeah. If you want to keep doing the youth minis, doing the youth minis. Kids like that too.
Either way, it's a good way to get everybody involved.
Yeah. And I think if you do full size mini cars, powder puff, full size, whatever, that gives them the chance to figure out which one they'd rather do.
Yeah.
It gives them a chance. That gives them a chance to see which is which, how much works this, how much works that, how much is this going to cost, how much is that going to cost.
Yeah, and it also gives you run I don't know if you run that class first in the beginning of the night,
Yeah.
then you have a powder puff full size, then you run your minis or whatever that's not running between your feature and your consi or whatever.
Yeah.
You can have boyfriend run the same car, have 2 entry fees for the same night. I think it
something
opens
like
up
that.
opportunities
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah.
Like in racing, they use the same car
They
as
used to do that when they had
Yeah.
powder puff back in the day. If your husband, boyfriend, whatever ran and the
Oh, I
car
get that
wasn't
cross.
tore up, then you could take that car out.
yeah.
There was times where my mom would run a car, and not the same night, but my mom would run a car, and then my dad would take it,
Yeah.
you know, somewhere else, you know,
Yeah.
that type of deal.
Yeah.
But it would definitely give everybody an option. Some people have ran compacts and then stepped up to the full size, didn't care for it, then went back to compacts. Some have ran full size, then went to compacts and decided that they like that better. So it would definitely give the kids that are trying to get started, it would give them the option of which one would you like to do, and
Yeah.
definitely would let you see prices. Because not saying that the full size is a whole lot more, because I know there's some compact guys that have got some money,
Crazy money
stuff.
spent.
Yeah, no
Yep.
kidding. But
It's all expensive.
yeah, there's no aspect of
If
a
it has
demolition
an
derby that's
engine
cheap.
and it involves horsepower, it's expensive.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
So we've hit that hour mark. I guess we'll wind it down.
Yeah.
Like I said, we're going to cover. Sorry, comment just came in. That would be cool too.
Yeah, that goes along.
That would be real cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, for I guess the YouTube side, you guys
better
can't
watch
see
out.
comments.
Yeah.
You better watch out.
Cross 907 Promotions is talking about having a female class coming up for Madison, Indiana. He said he'd allow the female class cars to step up and run main gut and go class if they wanted, and wouldn't charge any addition. That's what we were saying. Was a pretty cool aspect of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna close her down. Our next show is gonna be December 15th, 2 weeks from today. Then we're going to talk about Sturgis, some of the drivers locally that'll be competing in that. Cross is one of them. So shoot us some details, Cross, with you and your buddies that are running. Anybody else that's running that show, let us know. If you got pictures, send them to us. We'll get some slides up.
Yeah. Get
try
us some
not-
details if we're missing something. If there's a motorsports event that
Oh, yeah.
That you,
if there's
you want
something
talked
you
about,
yeah
we
If you
will-
want coverage of, or
if there's something that we haven't heard of, you send it to us. We will do the homework.
yep.
as much as we're involved in all aspects of motorsports, there's probably still stuff we miss.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
there ain't
just-
going to be a lot
yeah,
that gets by, but some
Yeah.
will.
Yeah.
And I feel like we'll try to shoot for the same time
Mhm.
every time
Yeah.
that we have this.
Yeah.
Say
Yep.
around 4:00 or so.
Yep. So next show, we're going to talk about Sturgis. We're going to talk about some of our past in the sport. We're going to talk about Snowball, how it went, if we can get anything on Gateway. PRI will just be wrapping up. If we end up making it up there, we're going to try. We don't know. None of us have registered yet, but we'll see. Also, if you want to be part of this team, be a guest, be a sponsor, shoot us a message on any of our Facebooks, but primarily the Adrenaline Junkies page. In the future, we want to do more video stuff at events. We want to do more in-garage stuff. We want to do rule breakdowns. Cross has already got his rules out, which is the earliest I've ever seen a promoter put rules out. So shout out to you for that. We're going to break those
As
down.
a builder, we love that. by the
Yes.
way.
Yeah. I was going to say, if there's promoters that are putting rules out and we're just missing them,
Yeah.
promoters, send us rules, send us dates, send us everything.
Yeah.
You know, maybe that's something we can do. Put a
Yeah.
schedule together
Yeah.
for the summer.
Yeah.
Different
I've got-
promoters.
Toast and his wife are putting together a list, and I've got them on the board behind us of everything that they've put on so far.
Yeah.
They've got every big show and every local show that they're putting on. As your dates are confirmed, let us know. We want to help promote the event for you. Eventually, I'm going to be building a website, and I'm going to have links to every event on each day. You click on it, it'll go to your promotion page on Facebook or your website. Like, we want this to help build motorsports within our area. That is the whole reason we're doing this. I mean, it's fun. We get to hang out. It's an excuse to hang out and participate in our sponsored beverage, Busch Light.
Yeah.
But we want this to build motorsports in our area. Too many kids are sitting there playing video games and not getting out and enjoying the events that are going on around. And something's got to change. If we can be a teeny tiny part of that, we want to be that. Yeah. So feed us all the information you can. As we build more equipment, we will be doing more within this. We want to do shop talks. We want to do the mini series I was talking about earlier from start to finish. We want to do at show. I want to be able to, if I'm at Jordan's shop covering his build, I want to be able to go to the show and stand there and do documentary style video of him in the show. I don't want to cover the whole show. I don't want to take anything from Multi-10 or the Field Boys.
Yeah, no, that's not what we're here to do.
Yeah.
We don't want anybody to get crossed. There's other Derby podcasts. There's Derby YouTube channels, all that stuff. We are more than happy and willing to work with anybody.
Yeah.
You know, you guys may see things we don't. You may be able
Thank
to
you, Cross.
You may be able to get to events that we don't. You know, let us know. You know, we'll work with you. You work with us. Anything. I mean, there's no good publicity is
no publicity.
Yeah. No publicity at all is worse.
Yeah.
You know,
we're not trying to step on anybody's toes.
Yeah, we want to work with Tanner. We want to work with Cody and Jason. Like everything we do, we want this to build our sports to be better than they were yesterday. Yeah, and that's our whole principle of this.
And shout out the Hard Nosed Derby podcast.
Yeah, we've all listened to it this week, and
I've been listening to them for probably the past 2 years, and that kind of listening to those guys gave me this idea. You know, at one point, you know, that put it in my mind, and you know, shout out to them for all they do because
they're in the Missouri area. So once again, not trying to step on their toes. We would like to work together.
If we can get them information or anything, you know, because realistically, those guys can't be here every week of the summer or something, you know. So it's something we can do is cover some of these shows, and you know, even if they can't get to Sturgis, can't get to Winter Slam, can't get to some of those shows, that's a perfect area for us to jump in and do our part to help them and add to what they're putting into the sport, because they put a lot of good information out. They cover a lot of shows. They talk to a lot of good guys. Oh, they're funny. You can't take that away from them.
Nope.
So, like I said, we're all here for the good of the sport.
Yep.
And nothing else. So,
some good entertainment and a little bit of education, maybe unasked for, but
unasked for.
Opinions.
You might not care, but we're gonna put it out there.
Unsolicited facts.
Yeah.
Unsolicited facts. Yeah.
Spread the word. Tell your friends.
Yep.
Yes.
Be sure to. Is that to me?
All of us.
1, 2, and 3.
Pretty much the extent, right?
Yeah.
We missed Jace this weekend. He's under the weather yet again. So whenever you get better, buddy, we'll have you sitting up here with us. Remington Tar, he is away at college and working on an IndyCar. Not IndyCar, but it's that same style of racing. Works on a team out of county. So he's doing a lot of the behind the scenes consultant type stuff. So he's part of us as well. We'll be sure to keep you guys updated on future events. The link tree for all of our socials is at the bottom of the description. Please go share that, like it, follow it. Help us build this into the best thing we can be. Like we said, if you got any guest recommendations, you want to be a guest, you want to be a sponsor, hit us up. We'd love to have as much support and help behind all this as we can. The more we can afford to grow, the more we will grow. We're pouring into it from every aspect, so we'll keep going. Just speed it up if we do get a little bit of help.
Yeah.
But yeah, you guys got anything else?
We're going to do it for the first.
That ought to cap her off.
Thanks for being here. Sorry if that was hard to watch.
Yeah.
We're getting started, getting the ball rolling.
It will get better.
I promise it will.